Hey, welcome. A little early. I had this set up for about 1 o'clock today, but Pacific time. And but we're already sitting here doing nothing. We'll just come on. We'll see if anybody comes on before. But we're here at the Mecum auction. Everything's kind of fired up. Right now, it's almost 1 o'clock. So it starts about 9 o'clock in the morning is when they start doing the road art. And then after that, around 10 o'clock is when they do it. They have had a guy come in with a trumpet, and he played
National anthem.
Yep, did that. And then they do their rowdy thing with the AC/DC song, Thunderstruck. And then they start the auction all up with the bikes. So right now we're on, what number are we on here?
It's right there. Can you see 164?
Yeah, so we've done 164 bikes have already been auctioned off. And some of them we already got pictures and stuff for you guys. Let me get my page. Yep, wrong one. That one.
But I guess somebody shipped over a bunch of bikes from Japan or China, and they're on a barge and they didn't quite make it on time. So Randy's on. Hi, Randy. How are you doing?
Randy's in the house.
Yep. Randy Pritchard.
We got 9 on.
There you go.
So we got some people probably watching from work.
He's watching from Canada. Oh, it's Randy is.
We get it on our Facebook pages here, so those that want to watch Facebook can see what's going on. Is that?
So the bearded guy, Jeff Loveless, is on. How about that? How you doing?
He's been on a few times before.
Yep. So for the first day of the Mecum auction right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And if you want to buy a bike, Wednesday, the first day is the best day to buy. Wayne's on too. North Carolina, 68 degrees. So it's warmer than it is here. Whitey's on too. They said, because most of the bikes have been going for under
2,500.
Yeah, about 3,500 or less. There's a few that hit 6,000, 7,000, but the majority of them, but a lot of them have been tiny bikes too, like little kid bikes, mini bikes, Cushman bikes, different things like that. Harley Frank's on. I haven't seen him in a while. Yep. Are you in Florida? I'm assuming you're in Florida right now. Since it's cold up there in Pennsylvania, I think that's where you're originally from. So we'll be in Daytona that Tuesday before Daytona starts if you guys are down already. Okay. So we're just waiting for him to finish all of his pedaling.
Yep, get it on all the social media. Should put it on TikTok and put it on X too. And people can see it on there too. Maybe I'll do that. Let me go to my... Hey, now,
put it on
everybody.
Instagram too.
I don't have the Instagram on my phone.
I guess I could copy and share it. So Harley Frank says, yep, in Florida, and we'll see you over in Daytona. Sounds good. We'll be there. Like I said, we'll be there this Tuesday before the rally starts. 4 or 5 days before the rally starts. I think it starts on Friday. And right now we're at Mecum Auction in Las Vegas, Nevada. Wish to know you guys were here. He's looking at bikes, but we're probably not going to buy any bikes. We'll see how that goes. Janice is on. And there's Mohawk Mike. He says, Bating. He is now at Dusty Country Garage. So check out his channel. He's got a new channel. He's just
all right, TikTok's not going to work.
Mostly cars is what he's been working on, different things like that. But he does have motorcycles, so he might be doing some motorcycle stuff too. He's fighting with X. Trying to get him. So it's chilly out here in Vegas. It's probably, I wouldn't say above 60. It's
supposed to warm up this weekend. By Monday, we're talking maybe 70s. Around, yeah.
So that'll be nice for a change. So we'll see. Brought a lot of long sleeve shirts because we figured it was going to be cooler than it would be warmer. We were supposed to get a little bit of snow. They said in Lee Canyon, which I don't know if that's up on Mount Shasta or not, but we've been looking up on the mountains and haven't seen a whole lot of snow. So not quite sure where that snow was at, where it went. At the state line where Prime is, they got a lot of snow out that way. So people were having a hard time getting back to California on Sunday and people coming in. So that might have held a few people up that were coming into the auction. Because when Bob was filming some of those bikes coming in, they said that there was not as many showed up as was expected, but they might have been having trouble getting up through the Calhoun Pass and down the 15 to get here, or up the 15, because I guess this is north.
So we'll talk to you a little bit here, and then probably going to go out and kind of show you some of the bikes, stuff like that. I'm working on a video tomorrow that will have a video come up. We're going to kind of give you a live and talk a little bit about this. I did put a video earlier on our basic Facebook page, one that's got like 3,500 or 4,000 people on it, that I did earlier this morning. So to kind of show you what was kind of going on. Right now, we've got about 1,500 people have come into the auction. They say normally, like weekends and stuff, you may see 4,000 to 5,000 people that may end up showing up for Friday and Saturday. You know, they have a lot of, we was just telling me that there's a lot of federal workers that work here that have been home workers. So they're all being sent back to work. So they, next few days, yeah. So some of them aren't going to be able to come out and do things. I don't know if they would have came here in this first place or not.
Well, there's a girl here down at the end. It sounds like she's on her computer. It sounds like she's working. So not sure what she's doing, but there you go.
So they got a lot of bikes. They actually have a road glide here. I think it's the first year. I think it's, is it 94? With 1.6 miles on it. It has never been ridden. It's in the original wooden case. Crate that it came in, and that's so cool. I don't know if I'll get a chance to show you this or not, but it's gonna be on the video tomorrow. It came from a dealer in Missouri. It's actually got a dealer plate from 94 still on the bike, and they said nobody has ever rode this bike. Well, somebody did. They put a mile on it, probably when they took it from the, from Harley. They rode it to get it on the truck or whatever. That's the only time it's ever been ridden. So it's been sitting all this time. It's got some other accessories. There's a couple cardboard boxes that are there. I don't know if it had maybe it's got a windshield that they've got that comes with it, and it's not open. There's a small box under the engine. But I mean, there's a whole lot of really cool bikes. There's bikes that I've never seen before. And we're going to talk about some of those different bikes on some of the videos that are going to come up. Just depending on how everything goes on our Mecum auction, I don't know how many videos we'll have coming out after this, because we already got the new the AIM show is starting already on, was it Tuesday or Wednesday? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is that. So we're all busy with that. And so I'm going to be doing stuff with that. So we'll have a few days to kind of go through and edit a few videos, and I may put them all up before,
AIM starts.
Yeah, before it starts. And but yeah, it's been weather hasn't been too bad. It was about 39 this morning. The mornings have been a little bit cool, but it doesn't take that long for it to warm up. Let me see. It says 55 out there right now, and it's almost 1 o'clock.
What does it feel like? Sometimes it says it feels like, or we're going to say feels like. Oh,
feels
55.
Like 55. So yeah.
Wind must have died down.
So today we're supposed to get up to it's like about 58. It's supposed to be the high today, but we're supposed to get by next week's Monday and Tuesday, we're going to be in the 70s, 74, 73 they're predicting. At night it'll only be 49. So we got some really great weather that's going to be coming here in the next few days. So hey, if you want to come out to Vegas, come on out. And we met a bunch of subscribers. We got some people over here that we've met several times, and from Australia they've come over here and might buy something. They don't know yet, but they came over for the week to kind of check out what's going on and watch the Mecum auction. I think he said this is the second or third time they've been here. Told us a lot about Australia. I spent quite a bit of time yakking with them a while ago. Very interesting, talking about the riding. I think they live on the coastline. They say it's kind of like California weather there. They got they're having summer in Australia right now. So, but they say where they live, it's like 70s most of the time. And they do a lot of riding. They went on a ride a while back. They were telling me they did 7,000-mile ride.
Wow, in Australia? Did you
Yeah.
say in Australia?
Yeah.
That's a lot of miles. Neil said it was 2 and it's up to 4 now. He's got a heat wave.
There you go. That's this kind of weather. You should be comfortable over there. When are you going to Idaho? Idaho. When you head down to Idaho. I remember you said something about February, I think, is when you're going down.
So we want to say happy birthday to our youngest daughter. Turned 40 today.
Holy Jennifer Jupiters. I don't have a kid that old.
You got one older than that.
That's the young one.
The 11th through the 23rd, he says, when he's going to be in Idaho.
Right.
That's when we'll be down. Oh no, we don't leave till the 26th. I don't think. To go to Daytona.
Yeah. So haven't found any more about my bike being hauled out. They're gonna come get it. I'm assuming they're gonna pick it up after the Mecum's over. They're gonna have a whole lot of bikes that they're gonna have to ship out and all that kind of stuff. And they already said they got a bunch of bikes going to Daytona too. So I should be getting one of those, and hopefully it all goes well. It should be there before opening day. Hopefully Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday it'll be there. Tuesday we won't really have time because we're gonna get there on the Tuesday before, I think it's 25th. And we're going to actually stay in Orlando that night because our plane don't land until like 8 o'clock at night. There's no use getting a rental car and all that. So we're picking the rental car up the next morning. And then we'll have a car. Because a lot of times in Daytona, it's not uncommon to rain. So we'll have an extra transportation that we can drive around with a car. If we don't drive it, not a big deal. It's not that much more for the car for the week. But that gets us back to Orlando because some people said, well, you guys should have flew out of Daytona. Daytona is about $300 a ticket more. So here we were able to fly round trip for $1,000. So that gets us back home. So that's really good. Fits inside our budget here that our sponsors are all sponsoring us to get to all the rallies this year. We picked up, we got 3 new sponsors here in the last 30 days. So kind of excited. We've got Camp Easy Ride. I decided to go, and that's why you see, I can't put it on live. You're going to see their logo all the time. They took our most expensive sponsorship. And he said, I'll take the most expensive if you put my logo on your videos. I'm like, hey, why not? And if we get more people that want to give us, that one there is $3,500. And if you want to give us $3,500 to help pay for the rallies and stuff to go to them, we'll get your logo on there. So then we also got Speeds Performance Plus. They picked it up. They're going to give us the money when we get to Daytona. And then we also got one of our subscribers giving us some money. He helped us before. It's the same one that helped us to get to Myrtle Beach last year.
Yeah.
So he wanted to help us get to a rally this year. And so we're kind of looking to see what we're going to do with his money, which rally we're going to be picking up this year. Because we really didn't have Arizona Bike Week kind of figured in. But because maybe I'll end up having to rent a bike, and we could use the money for that to get a bike for Arizona Bike Week. I won't have my bike. We'll have our Sportster there, but we won't have.
We was always thinking maybe we'd go back to Galveston, but since Bikes, Booze, and Barbecue pushed their rally back a week, that's going to be.
Because we want to go this year to Bikes, Booze, and Barbecue. We're going to get there the weekend before, so we'll end up being there for a full week.
That still shouldn't be right because that's November. One's November and one's October.
I don't know. That's what you said.
I know. I don't know. I'll have to look again.
When is the Galveston rally? Galveston is
November.
It's the SEMA show.
Oh, that's what it was.
It's October 31st through the 3rd. But they backed up from that once before when they did. Oh, that's 2024.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be. It's right during the Mecum auction. Because then we were.
November 6th through the 9th.
Yes. And that's the same week as SEMA show. And then we thought, well, maybe we'll do that Smoky Mountain one. And then that's the same weekend as Bikes, Booze, and Barbecue. And we're already booked for that.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to figure out what we'll pick up. But we could even use the money for next year if worse comes to worse.
Yeah, 2026.
Yeah. And because we don't know what sponsors we'll pick up next year. So, and then Sturgis will be there the full time again. We're going to be there for a full 8 weeks. That counts the rally too. So, when we talk about all this stuff, that's what you got to think about is there's a lot of great rallies to go to. It's just like when talking to people here, they're talking about which rally should I go to? Which one? I just talked to some people today that are actually live in Florida. They live in Ocala and they've never been to Leesburg. And I'm like, and so I talked to her husband and they're like, yeah, we're going to do Leesburg this year. So definitely they're going to do Daytona too. And, but I mean, it just depends on what you want to do, what rally you want to go to. There's ones I like. I love Sturgis, and Leesburg is a good one. Bikes, Booze, and Barbecue is another good one. I'm all for both of those 3. Those are probably my all-time favorites. Then Panama City would probably fall in next. From there, I'd probably put Oceanside even over Daytona, probably.
Ocean City?
Yeah, Ocean City maybe over Daytona. But see, Ocean City, we're only there for like 4 days. So we're not there that long. So it gets, a lot of these rallies, when you get to them, if they don't have a lot of riding to do, it gets really boring. You can go, well, we're not big drinkers. So we're not going to go. It's like Daytona and Myrtle Beach. Those are 2 drinking rallies. I do like Myrtle Beach too. I'd probably put Myrtle Beach before Ocean City, probably. And Daytona. I would say Myrtle Beach is probably better than Daytona. But there's things I like about Daytona. I like the Sons of Speeds. I like the dealership. I like JP Cycles. I like they got all that racing, flat track racing, and all that. We've been involved with that. That's kind of exciting. I like that. So there's a lot more function things going on there compared to a lot of things. Now we may have some big announcements coming up for Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. They may be having some motorcycle racing coming to that. We'll be able to tell you that in the next day or two. We should announce it before Mecum's over. And then also they have their spring fling, which won't be there this year because of Leesburg. They're kind of running over the same time. Next year they're going to try to change the because usually the spring fling, which is in Eureka Springs, Rogers area there, they usually have it the week before Panama City in Leesburg. So this year, I don't know why it kind of overlapped because
they said because of Easter.
Oh,
that's why.
So next year we'll probably be at the spring fling. That's like in March. So we'll probably be there. But one of the things we're getting ready to do with the bike builds for. Hey, I got to put my card up. If you guys want to know more about our bike builds, there you go. Scan that, and that will take you to our bike builds for vets and get a little more information about that. We've got about $250 already that we've gotten from subscribers that have sent it to us, so it's pretty cool. And we're going to end up putting names for that too. And let people know who's been donating it. But it looks like we're going to give away a motorcycle, not a new one, but we're going to give a bike. I believe it's a Softail Heritage.
A 91, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be totally custom painted, and we want to give it to a Marine that's in the service right now.
Active duty Marine officer.
We will deliver that bike to a base in the United States. So, but the way it's going to work, and it hasn't started yet, because they've got to get everything all finalized. They're working on the bike right now. Should be today. They should have the bike. And then, so we'll have some pictures of it, but it won't be painted yet. We want you to write a letter
stating why you think your service officer, your Marine, should win this bike.
Yep.
And then we're going to let you guys pick the letter that wins.
That's right. So it's pretty exciting. So we got about 90 days before spring fling comes. And so what we're going to do is we're going to link it to our Bob and Tam's, to our bike builds,
for vets,
which is what you just did the barcode on. And you'll be able to go in there and there'll be information on there explaining how this is going to work. And then it's going to take you to our email and you send the letter to us. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start a Facebook page just with those letters on them. And then you can write on there and say, hey, I think this is the best one. This one's the one I want to give my vote for. So you guys can monitor it. And then it's going to be given, did he say Tuesday or Thursday? Or did he say Friday?
Thursday, I believe.
It's going to be Military Day at Eureka Springs for the spring flings. They got the fairgrounds. We're going to give you a bunch of information out there. Marcus from Camp Easy Ride is going to be out there. They're going to have their tents and stuff. If you want to come out there and check it out for their ultimate party location, what do we say?
All you have to do is you simply just arrive, drop, party, repeat, and leave.
There you go. And then we're going to give that bike away. And this is going to be sponsored by the Cat House
in Eureka Springs.
In Eureka Springs. And what else is going to happen if this turns out really good? We may be during Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. He's talking about giving us a bike for every branch of the service he wants to give away. So
Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue.
Yeah. So if this all works out good, he wants to go forward with it. What are we getting out of it? We're just going to get the exposure of people watching. We're going to be talking about it all the time on our Facebook page, on our YouTube channel, giving out this great information. Plus, it gets out our
bike builds for vets.
Bike builds for vets.
To help us get some bikes, to give more bikes away to vets.
And we're going to be talking to Hall Bikes tomorrow about seeing about them picking up bikes for us that will get them to the shop and things. And I'm pretty sure I think they're going to go for it. They're great people. We just got done talking to them this morning. We're going to do their video tomorrow. That may come up tomorrow. I'm going to try to do editing tomorrow here at the rally. Keep calling this a rally. Everything I do is a rally at the auction.
An event.
Yeah,
it's a motorcycle event.
And it's really cool. There's a lot of people, great people. I've talked to a whole bunch of people. Didn't put anybody on camera yet. A bunch of people. We've got a bunch of great subscribers that are here. We're actually talking to some people. Going to go out to dinner with them tonight from Florida. They're from Fort Myers. They're here first time. Never been to Vegas before. Yeah. So we're going to take them down to the Peppermill. They have dinner tonight. It's a really cool restaurant. So like, they've jumped up in price, but we're splitting the meal, so it's not a big deal. And but it's just the coolest place on the Las Vegas Boulevard. Breaking news: what we're hearing is Circus has been sold. It will be tore down very quickly, and they're going to be building another high-end resort that we're probably going to know who it is. It's probably MGM or Caesars or whoever it is.
Bally's,
Somebody like that has probably bought the property. So hopefully
it's
it won't.
only been up for sale, what, a couple weeks?
Yeah. Came up pretty
So
quick.
fast.
Yeah. So we're gonna go down there and we'll film it inside before we leave. We'll probably do it next week because we'll be over there on that side of town.
End of town.
And can almost walk. Maybe I won't walk that far. Jump on a scooter. Might buy a little scooter here. They got a bunch of little Honda monkey bikes they've been selling.
Right.
$2,500.
Cool. Like I said, most of the bikes that have sold so far went for really cheap.
And that's what's bad about it. You just got to be ready. And the bad thing about this is some people don't put on their drop sheet that they put it up here on the screen. You can read it, and you see on some of the bikes when I walk by, and it tells you some stuff about it. And if you're selling a bike here, put down it runs. It drives. I wrote it like I just seen one a while ago. It said last time it ran was in the end of 2024. Okay, that tells me the odds are it probably runs. Because when you buy stuff, you don't know. Like when we bought,
there's no guarantee. When
we bought her Sportster, I was scared because I paid a little more than I should have spent. But then when we found out it only had 4,600 miles, and we talked to the people, I said, you should have put all that on there. You probably would have got more money out of it. But they don't listen to the Bob and Tam show enough to know how to handle this. But so it's pretty exciting. I love this. I love coming here. I love seeing all these different bikes. It's not as crowded as it used to be. When we first started this 4 years ago, the first 2 years probably, you couldn't hardly find a place to sit. It was so crowded. The floors, it's kind of empty now, but we're at lunchtime. A lot of people might have got up. The floor is pretty full today, but the grandstands, there's probably 100 people maybe in the grandstands. So not a lot, but I mean, there's a lot of people walking around because they're looking, trying to figure out what they want to buy. Like the people we're with, they're thinking about buying some small bikes for the grandkids down in Florida. So he's looking around for but he's got to realize it's going to cost him, $7,000 to $1,000 to ship them. Because they said if your second bike, if you ship, they give you $25 off, and if you ship more than 4, I think you get $50 off every bike. So they do give you a little bit of a discount. If you're overseas, there's actually a shipping company here that ships around the world. They don't do any. Haul Bike does all the local stuff, U.S. stuff. I don't think Haul Bikes goes to Canada or they go to Mexico. They only stay in the United States. So pretty cool. We just had experience with one of our new subscribers on our channel that had Haul Bikes haul their bike, and they kind of got a misunderstanding of when the bike was supposed to be picked up. They didn't get a lot of response from Haul Bikes, and they called a few times. Nobody seemed to read. They started watching videos, and he found after he watched about 3 videos, he found ours from last year, and said, if you ever have trouble with Haul Bikes, contact us and we'll help you out. Well, we did. We contacted I don't know what she is. If we gotta get a card for her. She's like right next to the CEO, and she's here. And then Kelly's in charge of all the keeping track of all the bikes and where they're going and all the stuff. So we contacted them, and they did a search, and they found it, and it hadn't been picked up yet. So sometimes they give you a really big window, like my bike. It's not supposed to be picked up till I don't know. I have to look at the date.
I think by February 9th is the last date, and they said as soon as they might pick it up was like way before we even left.
Yeah, well, it was the day that I did the agreement. So I'm assuming now it's going to get picked up next week.
After the wrap.
Yeah, because they said here, I was talking to some of the truckers that work for Direct Bikes, Haul Bikes, and they said that most of the trucks won't be pulling out until Monday or Tuesday. So I'm assuming they're going to come by and they'll pick it up next week. It works out good because it's supposed to be Jim is going to we got to call him and make sure they're going to be home. They can come over to the garage, get the bike out there. So I'd like to get some pictures and stuff of it before I would love to get video. I really don't want to run 100 miles home and 100 miles back. If I had to, but I wasn't planning on it. So that's pretty exciting. So, but he ended up getting it. He picked it up in Texas. He bought a bike in Texas, and it had to be hauled to New Hampshire or something. And then, so it did get picked up, and he wrote me back. And said, thank you. I appreciate you helping us out. He says, I wish I wouldn't have wasted all my time watching those other 3 guys that were talking about Mecum instead of Haul Bikes than just checking out your video, because you answered my questions, you helped me. And that's what we do. We are here. Like I just found, wait till you see the video tomorrow. I found a signed title. That's all I'm going to tell you. Wait till you see this. I could have took that title and I would have owned that bike. I got a signed title. If I'd have heard them put my name on it, took it to the license bureau down here, ran it. It's my bike. So I found it and I grabbed one of the guys, one of the head guys that are down here working the auction. I said, there's a title over here under this bike. And he's like, is it a copy? I said, no, I thought it was a copy because you'll see it in the video. I filmed it all. And I'm like, and then when I looked at the back, I seen it was signed and I'm like, this is an original title from California. And I'm like, this isn't good because if anybody grabbed that title, they own that bike if they hurry up and get it processed before the auction closes. So yeah, that would have been a real mess for this guy. And it had a sidecar, and this thing's probably worth $5,000 or more. Could be $10,000 or $15,000 bike. I think it was an Indian. And so you're going to see all that on the video tomorrow. But wait till I show you that title. I don't know how many people look through this book. It was just a pamphlet. The guy took a bunch of pictures and telling you about what he did to the bike and all the different stuff. When I turned to the third page, I was having trouble opening the page. I'm trying to hold a camera and I'm trying to turn the page, trying to see it. And I'm like, holy crap, there's a title in here. So I'm like, I'm not taking it out. So I only walked 10 feet, 20 feet to it's actually the box where you go if a bike doesn't sell the reserve,
If it goes on.
you can go over there and say, hey, I'll give $50 more. And then they'll call that guy and say, hey, we got this. Do you want to sell it? So it gives them that option to where the guy might come back and say, no, if you give me 100 more, you can have it. So he came over there and he looked at it and he's like, oh my gosh, what's this doing here? And I'm like, I don't know. He says, I'm so thankful you brought that. I said, this is what we do. I'm not somebody that's going to take that title and do anything legit, unprofessional or crooked or whatever. We're not, this I'll show. But I mean, some of the stuff that happened here last year, Psycho Drag's down here already. And there's another guy, I think there might be a guy working with him. That's the only other YouTuber I see here right now.
So somebody with a GoPro walking around.
I'm thinking did he have an Indian shirt on?
I think so, yeah.
I think that might be with him.
Okay.
I'm thinking because he had a phone in his hand and had a camera just like the guy from Cycle Drag did. And see, last year they had that bike that the serial number looked like it had been double stamped or something. Something wasn't right about it. Somehow it got checked in and somebody didn't look at it that hard because I was talking to one of the guys this year down in the garage. Monday night, I was down there talking to one of the guys that do the inspections, and he seen it after the fact. And he said, yeah, the 4 looked like it had been stamped like 3 or 4 times, and the number just looked like somebody tried to stamp it twice. Now, it might have came from the factory that way. Don't know. But, some of the places like, I don't know if I know Cycle Drag did it, but they make it, look how did this happen? Oh, no, and then and then people are writing on their comments, oh, yeah, that's the kind of crap they do here at Mecum, and they don't check things. And crap happens all the time. Yes, it probably shouldn't have went through, but if this is the first time it happened in 10 years, things happen. We're human. The guy that's working down there looking at stuff is human. And it's not worth putting out stuff like that just to get the views. You really want to do this to, it's like we do. We try to keep everything positive. It's like I'm filming the bikes being loaded and unloaded. And if nothing happened. But I mean, if they dropped the bike accidentally or something like that, you wouldn't see that. Like if you watched the video the other day, they're helping that guy, the U-Haul trailer back out. He only had one leg. So that's why they ran behind him because he said, once I get to that ramp, if I can't get steady, I'll drop it because my leg's not real. It's a mechanical leg.
Just steady good.
Yeah. So you can't move it as fast as you can your real leg. So they helped him and he didn't drop it or anything. But I mean, I was filming the whole time. And you can see when I walk around the back of his trailer, you can see his leg. And but if they would have dropped it, you would have never seen it on our channel. We would never even talked about it because what do you need to know about it? Yes, it would get me a lot of views and things like that, but wanted to embarrass that poor guy. It makes Mecum look bad that they weren't holding the guy's bike, which they did. They came around the back when he said something. They came around the back and helped him guide it down, and no problem. It all worked out just great. They did a great job, but there's no reason to put stuff out like that.
They just do it for views.
Yeah, people do stuff looking for views and trying to make somebody look bad. And one of the things we try to do is there's just enough bad stuff in the world as it is. And to try to have good stuff for people to enjoy. There's enough crazy stuff on YouTube. And so much of the stuff now is AI. I don't know if you ever see any of these little shorts and these reels where people like on a bus and they take the pregnant lady's seat and all this stuff. Those are all fake fake, fake, fake. Almost every reel I'm seeing that these, like somebody drops $500 on the ground, and or they give a guy a bum $500. I actually, one girl was making those videos. I actually went to her Facebook page, and it was her husband. Is who the guy is that took the money, but he act like he was a homeless guy. So it's like I say, these people, there's so much fake stuff out here, and then so many people buy it. It's like all these people on the internet now talking about the Gulf of America, and it's, oh, it should be the Gulf. Who the hell cares? What difference does it make if she calls it the Gulf of Mexico? If I call it the Gulf of Puerto Rico, who the hell cares? But I mean,
Well,
all
they
these
change
people
so
are.
much stuff. They change mountain names, they change base names, they change all kinds of names. So it's like if whoever's in office, or whoever wants to do something,
Well,
and
if you know anything, because we're meeting a lot more politicians and stuff. Actually, we can get a press pass for the White House. She's doing YouTubers now. I don't know when we're going.
influencer.
I don't know.
I told my
I
son,
think I'm going to fill it out. I'm going to fill it out.
Us.
I think that'd be cool just to go in there and film something.
Say we were there.
That's right. Hey, Bob and Tam is live at the White House. I just think it's cool. Doesn't matter if you're a Trump supporter or not. I just think it's cool. You wouldn't be seeing Trump anyway. You'd be seeing that the young girl, whatever her name is. She's pretty cool. But I mean, it'd be just kind of neat that maybe she'd call on me and I have a question. I have to write something down because probably when she called me, I'd go, What do you think about motorcycle rallies?
Well, they think
We're going to Daytona next
they
week.
like influencers, and they want different venues to come in and ask different questions instead of saying, somebody me, and then they ask a question. It's like the last three people asked that exact same.
I know they were all asking about because he froze everything. Oh, is it going to stop Social Security? Is it going to stop this? And then she answered it 100 times, and they're still asking the same. Hello, dumbass, open your
They
ears.
want
She already
they
said it.
want them to answer their question. That was their question, but they didn't get to go before all those other 18 people that asked the same.
And it was
darn
just
question.
stupid. And which it is. It's if you look at government, I'm not going to talk a lot about government, but if you look at government spending, they spend a lot of stupid money on a lot of stupid things. And I'm okay with this too. And no, it's not going to stop people that, if they find out it's like us, we're going to try to get some grants, which now we're going to kind of slow down right now. I know you're filling them out real quick now. But we got them last week that one of our people that we've met told us that there's a federal government, federal and state for Arizona, that we can get grants for veterans. So we're going to fill some of those out to try to get money from these grants to go buy bikes and fix them up and give them to veterans. So that would be kind of cool. And maybe we'll even get enough to where we can buy a new bike. A couple of the dealerships that we deal with will actually sell us a bike at $100 over cost. So that'd be really cool. And then what we would do with that is we would raffle that off. But see, when we raffle a bike off, we don't care. Well, we do care. We'd love to get $100,000 worth of raffle money. But I mean, if we only get $10,000 worth of raffle money, the bike's still gone because we don't have anything in it. And we're not trying to make money on it. We're trying to raise money for our veterans. So we could go take that money and go buy used bikes or bikes that we could get from the auction or bikes that could fix up. Or like here, there's a whole bunch of bikes that would be great for new riders. There's some Kawasaki's here, $200, $250. They all sold for $1,500 to $2,500. And some of them are nice looking bikes. Well, those would be great for a veteran that maybe has PTSD, never rode a bike, but this is light enough that, hey, if you took it and rode around your yard a little bit and you dropped it a few times, you wouldn't die over it. And it's easy enough that you can pick it back up. So those would be great bikes. And like I said, we really wanted more Harley Davidsons, but if we could pick up a few of the bikes that don't need a lot of work, like one of them just seen here, had brand new Dunlop tires on the Kawasaki. So you figure, okay, if it's got new tires and stuff on it, the guy, it probably runs. So it'd be kind of neat. And we're hoping what we're going to try to do is we're going to check with Mecum about maybe advertising. Maybe they'll do something for us because it's a veterans deal, cheap or maybe for free, hint, Mecum, that we could advertise in there to where maybe we might even have some people here that would buy those inexpensive bikes and just give them to us. And then I can come up here with a flatbed trailer and pick the bikes up and drag them back down, and there'd be no extra cost to them. They don't have to pay for shipping or anything like that.
That's what we're hoping with this thing for Spring Fling. We're trying to get it out to as many military places, I guess Marine bases right now, because it's for a Marine.
Well, he's got the reason we're doing this is his son is a Marine
grandson.
And he's at Camp Pendleton. So he wants to do this first one for Marines that are in the service. They have to be in
Active
right
duty.
now, active duty. I guess you could be a national, I guess, is Marines got National Guard?
I think National Guard's its own thing.
I think it's Army. But I don't know. I never was in the National Guard. So I don't know. But you have to be current. and to be able to, but
And you have to prove it too.
yeah, so we need to have a card. Well, that's what he said. We're going to deliver the bike to the Marine base, not us. He will. We might,
Yeah.
depending on where it's at. We might show
Yeah.
up. If we
If
did
it's,
Camp
yeah, if
Pendleton
it's not close to us.
or over in Arizona or someplace close, or maybe we'll do it during a rally or something, and it'll be close to where we're at. So it'll be kind of neat. But we're not going to ship it overseas or anything like that. If you're over serving overseas or you're fighting over in Iraq, we're not going to bring the bike over there so you can ride around while you're fighting. Doing like what was that movie?
A DD-214 is what we'll need from them.
That's right.
Maybe they should send that in with a letter.
No, take a picture of it. Well, see, a lot of times what might end up happening, see, this happened to her. So many moons ago when she had her street glider, 2014, is that what you had, 14? Street glide. She, right before that, she had a really bad accident. Surprised she didn't die from that. Almost, we should have got ran over. She was on the 91 highway, the busiest highway in the United States, most traffic in this area.
During rush hour.
Yeah, 5 o'clock. And somebody came over and hit her and never stopped. Hit and run. And she slid across 2 lanes of traffic. Luckily, everybody was doing about 35 because the traffic was so slow. And I think the guy knew because somebody else had said she passed out. The bike did this and this because it ended up doing both sides. She only remembers hitting the ground once, but her helmet was skinned. Lucky she had a helmet on. It skinned it down to the white on both sides. So a doctor ended up stopping. Well, that was my worst nightmare in the world. Somebody calls me up on the phone because her phone wouldn't work. So on their personal phone and said, "Hey, I'm so-and-so and I'm with your wife." And I'm like, "Hello, you're with who?"
Because I always text him. I'm like, I'm leaving now. So he'll knew.
15, 20 minutes, she's home. She takes carpooling. So so she's usually always home. So ended up I couldn't get to her by the time I finally, because I was already home from work. By the time I looped around, they'd already hauled her off on an ambulance. Her daughter went and met him. I stayed with the bike and the tow truck came. I took all of her stuff, personal stuff out of her bike, and they took it to the yard. And so I wrote this article as what she ended up doing. She had that accident in April. No, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
The day before Valentine's Day. We were going to move that weekend. She did anything so she didn't have to move.
2014.
She was in the
that
hospital.
Would have been my last day to ride on that freeway home. I would have never had to
So
ride.
she laid in the
that way.
hospital for 3 days all by herself. So we had to call all of our motorcycle friends to come visit her because she was lonely. There was nobody there.
So all the kids helped him move.
Yeah. So we had to get it because we didn't have everything packed yet and everything. And so we got it all done. So we really, none of us could go see her for that Friday, Saturday, or I guess was it Sunday you got to come home or Monday?
Sunday, I think.
And so she got to come home. And then, but then that August, we got the street glide and we rode 2,200 miles. We went up the coast of California, all that way. She never complained, rode all that way. And so I wrote this letter and it went to this Harley dealer down in San Diego and they gave $1,000 gift card away. So I got the $1,000 gift card and so she won. She didn't know about it. So I told her, they went to come pick her bike up and I told her I was getting a new tire or something. It had a
So
flat
your
on
tire
it.
was flat because Quaid's came. It wasn't in San Diego. It was the one out in Temecula.
Yeah.
And I said, because I seen him pulling away with my bike, and I'm like, what are you doing with my bike? Because I only had a flat tire. I said, why didn't you go Fullerton? Why did you go all the way? He says, well, they had the best deal. I'm like, ugh. So then it was
Well, we were
like,
supposed to pick it up on this one day, but she couldn't make it.
we'd already had plans. I
Yeah.
think you were leading a ride or something.
Yeah. So we had to go down and pick it up on the weekend. And so they took pictures of it. So she had no idea. She walked up to her bike and it's sitting outside. And so what I did is I had a new interfering put on. That's why I tell people I know how much it cost. It was $1,200 installed for an interfering back in 2014. So when you go and look
So he won
at,
first prize for writing the letter.
yeah. So when you look at what it cost to go to the fairing exchange to get an interfering, that's a hell of a good deal. It's all factory. It's not Chinese or anything. You're getting a factory one. It came off somebody else's bike. They painted it to custom color. So we always recommend the fairing exchange for that interfering.
He said to make sure, because I guess to get it on base, they have to have a safety course, all their gear, and liability insurance to have a base on a bike.
On the bike.
Yeah.
Which I know it's strict because I know out in Sturgis, you can go on the base for different things. I think they've got a thing where you can run down the airport. Neil knows about it.
Yeah.
That you can do stuff during the Sturgis rally, but you have to have all that stuff, which we went across the base in California off the 101 trying to get over to the one over by Big Sur. There's actually a shooting range for the military there. And when they're not shooting, you can cut through that way. It's the back way, and it's a cool ride, but it's a really skinny rock road at the end. And you're right on the edge of the cliffs, and that's a whole nother
You had
story.
to have your driver's license. You had to have the helmet,
Insurance.
shoes, insurance.
That's
and
it.
Jacket. I don't
No, I
long
don't think you had
sleeves. You had to have, well, because the California people are like in Florida. Sometimes they wear
Flip flops and shorts.
So,
No
yeah,
insurance, no helmet. Well, in California, you got to have a helmet, right?
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
In California, you got to wear a helmet. I don't know. Been so
I
long, I
don't
don't remember. I think it's a helmet state. Because Nevada's a helmet state. I think California
Tuesday
is
at
too.
Ellsworth. That's what Neil said.
Yeah.
And
So
you
that's
can ride
going
on the
on.
base.
Yeah. And
Get your picture taken in front of the B-52, whatever that is, and then you get to ride down the
runway.
So that kind of sounds neat. I mean, we maybe could do that this year. We did the flyover last year.
And try to do different things like that. It's just fun to do. And just other things you can do in Sturgis other than just hang out on Main Street. And that's why I tell people when people see our
That
channel,
thing's on.
holy smokes, we're going to be seeing you soon.
Yep.
It's about less than 30 days.
Out here, you want to go down your thing?
Good thing.
Countdown.
All right, so let's talk about rallies because that's really what we're all about. Daytona right now is 30 days from opening day, Friday, the 28th, I think it is opening day of Daytona Bike Week. Can you wait that long? 30 freaking days. Can you believe that? 30 days, 63 days till we'll be at Arizona Bike Week. So you got about a little bit of time. Leesburg is 85 days. Myrtle Beach right now today is 100 days to the Myrtle Beach rally starts.
PCH.
Oh, I forgot that. Thunder Beach rally in Pacific, Panama City Beach. That's 91 days. Sturgis is 184 days. It's not that far. Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue is 245 days. What? Ocean City is 225 days to Ocean City. So we'll do it. Let me get it back in order here. I don't know how I got all messed up.
I don't know.
So Daytona's 30 days. That's the next rally. First rally will go to the year. And then Arizona Bike Week's right behind that, which is 63 days. So we come back after Daytona. We're going to fly back home. We're going to take the trailer and be at Arizona Bike Week. We'll be real close to Cave Creek. We're going to hang out in Cave Creek most of the time because they never approved or disapproved my pass to get into the where the rallies are at, where the vendors are at. Leesburg is our next rally, which will be 85 days. Then we got Panama City Beach, Thunder Beach. That's 91 days. Then right after that, so when we get to Leesburg, we stay there. So Leesburg, we go to Leesburg. We ride to Panama City Beach. Then we ride to Myrtle Beach for 100 days in Myrtle Beach. Then they haul bikes. Going to haul my bike to Black Hills Harley, drop it off there. Then Sturgis will be 184 days. Ocean City is 224. We fly in there. Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, we may drive into that because we're thinking we're going to be at our daughter's house because there's a big pause now. And so we're going to get there the Saturday before the rally. So we'll be there one full week this year, unless I change the car and go earlier. I don't know yet. So that Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue will kind of end up our rally season. We'll still have the SEMA show. We'll still have. And so that's kind of a rundown of all the things we've got planned right now for this year. Not saying something else might not pop up. You know,
Right, King City, can't wait. I'll have to send you our flight agenda so you can pick us up. If you need to start at the museum, take exit. Oh, I guess that's where you get to it. Take exit 67B and follow it to the gate. That's to get to, is that Ellsworth out there? Ellsworth Airport Space.
That's going to get big out there. They're supposed to be going to start, some of the big planes are going to be coming in there or building them and all, whatever else.
Going to be in Vegas for Progressive, the #1 motorcycle show next weekend. That's the AIM show. We're going to go to that.
Now, there's a bunch of things going on next weekend. So starting out on Wednesday is the AIM convention that is going to be at, you have to be in the motorcycle business to get in there. It's not really open to the public. If you know a shop or something like that, they can probably get you in. But it's more for, it's kind of like drag specialties. If you just watch Amsoil Adam, to get in there, you have to buy from Drag Specialty, which is a lot of companies do. It's like Rick Rack. That's where they get all their products from is Drag Specialty. So they're kind of like a warehouse, kind of like JP Cycles, but for the professional people they sell to. So that's that. So then next Saturday, there's the Midwest Custom Motorcycle Show that's going to be on the 1st at the dealership. That's this Saturday coming up. That'll be at Las Vegas Harley Davidson, right on the strip there, right by the sign everybody takes pictures in front of. Now, next weekend, starting on Thursday, I think it's Thursday, Friday, or maybe it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's the Midwest Hotel down there, downtown. It's got a big motorcycle thing going on. I
That
don't
might
really,
be the progressive one.
I don't know. I don't know if anybody's got a progressive one
It
going on.
says
but-
you're going to be in Vegas for the progressive, the #1 motorcycle show next weekend.
Progressive motorcycle show in Las Vegas. Let's see what it comes up with.
7th to the 8th. That must be the same time.
That's it. That's at the Western.
Okay.
So yes, I don't know if we're going to get a preview because we're going to the AIM show. AIM Expo. We're going to that. So we get to come in the night before and see some of the
Yeah.
stuff going on. Now, if you know somebody that's tied in with that, contact us and we could only do, cause we're late. We'll be here Friday night, but Saturday morning, we're heading up to, for David Mann's Chopper Fest in Ventura. So unless that gets canceled, which we don't know at this moment, and it's not, we don't know if it's raining or not. It got canceled a couple years ago because of rain, and then we've been leaving so early. So this is the first time I get to go to this. So I'm really excited about doing this. That one day event starts in the morning. I think it's over by 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon for Super Bowl, and people can still go see Super Bowl. And so yes, we will see some of that. I don't know if we'll be in there during the time because I don't know
We get
who's.
to do a preview or something.
Yeah. I don't know who's putting this on. Yes, progressive. There's no progressive here. There's agents, but they don't know nothing. So I don't know. So all the stuff that I've seen on Facebook and stuff, it's just a place you can buy tickets at. The way we work, I don't pay to get in these places because we work the whole time. I'm not here for my enjoyment, which I enjoy what we do, but I'm not going to pay to give somebody free advertising. That's how we work. That's how we work what we do.
That's how we roll.
And
So,
because of that, and if they're letting you in, like here, we get media passes. By doing that, they know what we're doing. They know we're filming stuff. Sometimes I go to someplace, I don't mind paying sometimes to see something. But then when I say, well, we're going to film it. Oh, we don't allow filming inside. Then I ain't paying because that's the only reason I'd be coming to your stupid event is because I wanted to show people what you got going on. So if you're not interested in us being there, I don't care. But it's just like the AIM ends up being, he's one of our subscribers too. She just talked to him the other day and he's like, find me. He says, I really watch you guys all the time. I want to make sure I find you. And because I'd like to have, I don't know if he'll do it or not, but we need to get somebody there to kind of tell us a little bit about the show and how it all works.
and he said he's been there since the beginning of it.
Yeah,
So,
so they're out of Irvine.
Yeah.
And because I went to an AIM show years ago. Me and Art went. We did it on video. And they used to go, well, actually, we went
yeah, a long
probably
time
20
ago.
years ago to Long Beach.
Long
They used to have it
Beach.
in Long Beach all the time. But then when
We
the
rode the
2020,
very first protocol electric bike.
yeah, it
They
was
had it on a jump start and you could ride it.
yeah, before Harley had ever, it was just a demo.
It was the concept.
Yeah. And so it was kind of neat. But it was down there. So it was, but then they had it in 2020 because you couldn't go inside. They had it at the Orange County Fairgrounds down in Orange County, California, down in by Huntington Beach and Costa Mesa and all that. But it was really cool. They had all these bikes. I should have, if I would have known what I knew now, I would have rode all those bikes. Well, it ended up being whoever did that quit it. So when I see this come back, I'm going to have to talk to them and see if they had that. So I think that was a great idea, and I don't know why they got rid of that. But they had almost every manufacturer.
Wasn't that the IBM?
No, it was the AIM. Because I just found the video popped up the other day when I was looking through videos, and I said, oh, crap, that was exactly the same name. So unless these people just took over after that guy dropped out, they took it over, and then they have conventions instead of, I don't know. We'll find out when we talk to them. And get the
wants to know
lowdown.
if you're going to go to Milwaukee this year.
Nope. Be in Sturgis. No Milwaukee. Only way we'd ever go to Milwaukee again is Harley Davidson would have to fly us in for one day. We'd come in on Friday, be there the whole Saturday to cover what we do, and leave on Sunday because you're taking me away from Sturgis. And this year, 2024, was the best Sturgis viewership we have ever had since we started this. It was even better than the first year, which that was 2020, and that was because everybody was locked at home. So we had a great response. We gained a lot of subscribers right now. We've gained about 300 subscribers in the last 30 days.
We're this close to 30,000.
Yeah, we got about 1,000 or 100 and No, we have 1,000, about 1,000, 1,100 more subscribers will get us to 30,000. So share us with your friends. Tell them to check us out. Get us at that 30,000. It'd be great to be, by the time we get to Daytona, it'd be great to be, I think we'll, maybe even after this, we might hit, probably the next week or so, we'll probably hit 29,000, which is still great. Because we've been in the 28,000 for quite a while, sitting here.
Need to get over that hump.
Yeah. In Sturgis, we gained about 3,000 this year. So we did really good, but I'd like to get
I
over that
know.
hump and get going.
I thought about that the other night when we got home. I was going to call you and I didn't because you're an hour earlier than us.
Who?
Neil. He
Oh.
said he's got an idea for us for Sturgis.
So let's see. But lots of things going on. There's a lot of excitement going on. We're right here at the Mecum auction, and I'll walk around here in a little bit, and we'll look at some of the bikes and stuff like that. So you see a little bit of what's going on.
Been on an hour.
Can't really hear him talking.
I know. Last
really-
time I thought you really, I think they had a speakers on in here or something. They don't have it because it's not near as loud as it was before.
Yeah.
But because you could tell. I don't know. I don't think they have the speakers on. Well, one auctioneer, they switched. And he's like, oh gosh, but you couldn't hear anything. He's like, somebody turn me up, somebody turn me up. Somebody turn me up. And then he finally hit it and it went up a little bit. So he's still, he's trying to auction. And all of a sudden it's like, bah! It's like, okay, it's on now. So I don't know where he was before. Skippy's on my way to see my grandson bull at a league. Catch you guys later. Okay. Congratulations. Thanks, Skippy.
And so when I walk around, Tam will stay here and she'll answer comments and stuff, but she won't be able to talk to you unless you turn your phone back on and see your picture. And but I'll walk around and
You've been on almost an hour now.
so I'll start that in a minute. And I'll leave my microphone on, so I'll talk about some of the bikes and stuff like that we're looking at. So let me flip the camera around here so you can still talk, and Tam will be the one that's going to be answering your questions.
Unless they ask about a bike you're looking at, and I won't be able to.
No. Hey, there we are. There we go.
That's where we are.
We're in a bar. Should really put that on the gimbal. Maybe we'll do that. That way it won't be so jerky. Talk to him.
All right. So they're wishing Skippy Jones's grandson good luck in his bowling league.
Oh,
I don't
didn't put the microphone on.
Oh, you can't. Yeah, it says thank you. So,
All right, so you sit here.
all right. Have fun.
All right, so we'll go out this way. I'll try not to be too jerky here. I wish I would have thought ahead. We could have put the lapel mics on, and then we could have done the. I could have used the gimbal, and it would be nice and smooth. It's a pretty cool bar they got here. This is right inside the arena. This is actually a rodeo the rest of the time. So here's Hall Bikes. Right here is where Hall Bikes is all set up. So if you want to ship your bike out or something like that, it's all done right here. And so you come in here and sit down, and they fill you all out, get all your information, and get your bike ready to be shipped to where you're going to be shipping it to if you buy one here while you're here. So they're all busy, getting ready. So you can hear the auction down there. And here's where you come and pay for everything. You come over here, and the girls take your money and get you all your paperwork and all that kind of good stuff here after you buy your bike. So that's a good place where you bring your money. This is the place. They get you all straightened out. And did you hear? I don't know if you guys heard or not. I found a title on a bike. Did you? Yeah, it was down one of the trikes or one of the bikes down here that has a sidecar had a little book, and I opened it up, and the title was in there. First, I thought it was a copy. When I turned it over, the guy had signed it. So then I ended up giving it to one of the guys down there and and he's like, no, it shouldn't be there. And so we opened it up, and he's like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Yeah, because you could have grabbed that title, ran down here and registered it, said it's my bike. So how do you normally get a title? Like if I was shipping my bike here for the auction, how do I get the title to you? Okay, so the best thing would be if I'm shipping it, I'm not going to be here, then I would mail it into Mecum. Okay. That way it doesn't happen again. So up here, they got a lot of information. Up here, you're going to see a lot of sponsored groups. And what these are is people that have collections. Like this here, this is Richard Munn's collection. And he's got his vintage bikes and stuff over there. There's all kinds. Here's one that's completely ready to be restored. So it's really slick. And it's a 1912 Harley Davidson single. So if you wanted a project bike, it's cleaned up. There's another one here. And it's another 1912. There you go. Here's another bike we'll take a look at. It's a 1981 FXB. What's this? It's the Sturgis. Oh, look, it's back when AMF owned it. I don't know, I think it said Sturgis on it. It does, but I did not see. It's a Sturgis model, but I don't see. You would think. Oh, there it is. So you could buy this one, and if you want to bid on it, it's going to be Saturday. It's going to be 169.1 is when the bids come up. So it was the first year Harley had the FXB. It was named after the rally. It's got original paint. It has original miles is 12,582 miles is on it. Original seat, air cleaner, air box cover, grips, all those are included. So I guess they've changed it because it looks like he's got new grips and stuff on it. So he's got all the original stuff to change it back if you want to get it back to that. So there's looking at the miles. So hey, if you want to get a Sturgis bike, it'd be kind of cool to have. Got the rims have got orange in it to make it look like it's got like a white wall. That's pretty slick. It's all kinds of bike. Here's this little goofy looking thing. I filmed this the other day. There's two of these here. There's another one. Let's see. I don't know if anybody's seen one of these before. Somebody I was talking to earlier said they thought it came from Italy. And doesn't really say. It says it's a 1966 Veloci, almost looks like Corvette at the end. I don't know, Vogue. One of 381 of them. It's got a 192cc engine in it. It's got 27,000 actual miles. So this thing probably runs. Keys and everything for it. Don't know what you do with it. But I mean, when I seen this thing come in, I was thinking, holy crap, what in the heck is this thing? Like one of your first original bagger bikes. They do have a couple cool bikes here. They've got a Road Glide that's only got, I think it's a 94. That's only got 1.6 miles on it. It's never been, other than the original title at the dealership when it got shipped to them, it's never been ridden. So this is another cool bike over here. They got this one. This is on my video for tomorrow. It's a 54 BSA. This actually raced in the 1954 Daytona 200. Kenny Eggers was the racer of this bike. And if it says anything about, I was looking to just see if it said, it got 5th place in it. But here, this bike here, this Triumph, its serial number is 1. So that's kind of cool. So it's a 1957 Triumph Model 21. It's got kilometers on it. It's got 38,000 kilometers on it. The frame is H1. Let's see if we can. Oh, there it is right there. If you can see that H1, that's the serial number of the bike. Very first Triumph of this series being made. So there's a whole sign on it there. So it's the 57 Triumph Model 21 serial number H1 is the first unit construction. It was assembled on February 22nd, 1957. So it's kind of cool. Be neat to have. Probably bring a Pretty Penny though, I bet. I mean, that is slick. I got a lot of really, really cool bikes here. And I'm not going to be able to go through every single bike. And there's a lot of collections here of bikes. Here's one collection here. This is the Ordellway collection. So they brought like a bunch of their bikes and they're selling them all. When I talk to the guys that own a lot of these bikes, that they end up buying bikes while they're here too. So not necessarily are they always just getting rid of them. This is a 1939 Indian Chief. That's pretty sharp. Somebody did a nice job of restoring it. Oh, look, they even diamond, almost like diamond plated, but it's not like the Harleys, you know, where you do the diamond plating on it, diamond edges. It looks like they just buffed it. Kind of rough though, but that'd be like something they would have done back in 1939. So all pretty cool. Just a lot of really cool bikes. And they don't have quite so many military bikes as they've had. Now, I haven't been down floor and walked through all of them. There was one or two, a whole bunch. There's a 1913 Indian. That's a single racer. So most of these bikes will be coming up on Saturday, and you can watch it on the internet. Mecum. I don't think they're going to have it on TV, but they might. There's a Yale, 1914. So just some really cool old bikes. And I just like, that's one of the things I like more than anything else is just to come here and look at stuff, because you see some stuff like this here. That's all original. You know, they cleaned it up. They took most of the rust off of it. It's a 1910 Hudson. I mean, that's just cool. And just a whole lot of variety. Some of the bikes that bring that they expect to bring more money is like right out here. There's a whole bunch right here. I think this was the one that was here last year. It looks like it's a Captain America replica bike. So it's not an original, but it's a replica. And I think they really wanted a lot of money last year and it didn't sell. But I'm pretty sure it's the same sign and everything that was there. I mean, it'd be cool to have, but I don't know. But a lot of these will bring, you pay more for where you put your bike at here. So you can hear them auctioning there. But these ones here is a special, there's a Crocker. Yep, it's a 1938. I don't know if you heard her or not. So a lot of times like this is usually somebody's, yeah, see, it's Slow Joe is who is this collection. This is a 74 Ducati, but some of them actually were race bikes that they were actually raced. Like this one here shows you the guy that was racing it. You get a little bit of history on it. Usually they'll give you with it, you'll probably get the album and the book on it, talking about it. I mean, it's just, you know, if you're into racing or if you want to have something, maybe if you got a bar or something, you want to hang a bike up like Michael Ballard does. It's a 1967 CR 450. There you go. He probably rode one of those bikes. Just checking it all out. See, that's one of the things about the auction that you couldn't do anywhere else is you can touch this stuff. You know, if I wanted to come over here and touch the muffler, touch the back, grab the grips, something you could do because they think you're checking it out to buy it. So it really makes it cool that it's like being in a museum, but you get to touch everything and check it all out. Here's a 1915 Cyclone V-twin. I think those are kind of cool bikes. But I bet you that thing was hard to ride. You'd have to really be bent over to ride that thing. Got the leaf spring up here in the front. Back before they really had shocks. You also got a leaf spring here in the back. So they took the idea from car designs. I mean, it kind of almost looks like a bicycle with a coming out of the side here. I'm assuming that's a kickstart. But hey, it's pretty cool. And some of those bikes are going to bring some really big money. There's another Crocker over there. Surprised I got some more spots here. We ended up finding out there was a bunch of bikes today. I think we said it earlier, Cam did, that was supposed to get here, but they were coming from China and they're in a locker on some boat someplace. So you'll have to pick them up so they sold them and just off of the pictures, and you'll have to go down to the Los Angeles and pick it up from the docks. That Crocker, what year is that? 1940. Now here's what I'm going to spend a little time on the next couple of days, probably tomorrow morning when it's not so much auction going on, so I can talk about it. This is a whole bunch of custom bikes over here that are really nice looking, and I want to do some videos on these. I think those would be really cool. So let's see who did all these. These are done by Aero Precision Metalworks Collection. And I don't know where they're from. Maybe somebody can Google that and see where Aero Precision Metalworks is from. I mean, there's some nice looking bikes. Nice looking bikes. Look at this one. Got the chrome gas tank and everything on it. You hear them doing that auctioning over there. Pretty slick. But the problem when you buy, you know, and some people have talked about this, I think that Psycho Drag, when he got Jay Leno and Senior from OC Choppers involved, that's the only bad thing about buying something custom made like that is unless you're a mechanic and you're planning on working on the bike, it's hard to find anybody that wants to work on those things because it's all been customized. You know, the engine you could probably figure out, but the frame, the chain, everything else is custom made. So you really got to know what you're doing. So here's taking a look at the auction. They're at 235. So when we started the live a while ago, I think it was 166. So now we're at 235. We do have a few old antique cars down there, if you can see them from here. And but yeah. So there's a bike down there right now. I can't see what it is. Oh, it's a 1991 Yamaha 650. It's at $900. Oh no, it's only at seven. It's only at 500. It's at seven. It's at $750. I'd buy that. It's over 1,000 now. All right, it's at $1,250 now. So they're asking $15. So they're jumping $250 once it gets going. Yeah, $1,250. They got that 81 Yamaha 650. If that thing runs, it's worth that. Here we go down to the floor. I'm bouncing down steps, so it's a little bouncy. So here's all the bikes that are getting ready to line up for the auction. So they got all the guys lined up here. They all got white gloves on. This is the guy that shines the bikes up. That's his job. He's the official shiner. So here's where you come if you bid on a bike and it has a reserve and it didn't sell. So you can come here and talk to them and maybe offer $50 more or $100 more. He'll call the person and see if they'll accept that. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, Roger Borget. He's got a bunch of custom bikes along here. They're all going on Saturday. So those are some pretty slick looking bikes too. That skeleton on there. Pretty slick. So you can see all the bikes are in line to be. So they just took up, they always have one bike that's being auctioned off right now. They have the second bike. Actually, they got three of them sitting up on the line. So there's three bikes in a row getting ready to be auctioned off. So as one's going off, they'll pull that next bike up so everybody can kind of take a look at it. But if you're here, you're more than happy to go out and check out all these bikes because they all go in a row. So you see here, this one here is going to go at 242 here. But if you look at the sign, we're at 239 right now on the bike that's being auctioned off now. So you got a little bit of time before that bike's going to get up front. So you can check it out here if you want to look at them and see what you want. Maybe you want to buy this Honda. And then all the bikes will stay in a row as they keep going. So there's 245. So this is probably the same person owns a lot of these bikes here. They all kind of look the same. So then they come out with the bikes from there. There's that Suzuki a while ago. So they'll come from back here. They roll after they go off on that far side over there, and then come around the back of the stage here, and then they bring the bike and they put it back outside here in the sold aisle. And if you had a bike like this, let's say you wanted to buy this 250, you can actually go on their website, search it out, and see if they sold one before, what the going price was. Or if you were going to sell a bike, you give you an idea. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to sell for that, or you'll get it for that price. Might be more, might be less. There's a whole bunch of Yamaha, Suzuki. There's a little Indian there. Got another Indian there. Yamaha. So slowing down. See, we're at 250 there. So these bikes here have already all sold. So they're waiting to put them in the back, and they'll line them up and get them ready. You can pick up your bike. Once you pay for it and everything, you can take your bike tonight, or they'll let it sit here until Saturday. But I think all the bikes, if I'm not mistaken, have to be out on Sunday. So either you can pay Haul Bikes to take it to the warehouse and leave it. These are all sold already. So like, I don't know if that one that we were looking at, it was an orange one, wasn't it? It may not be pulled up here yet. But so all these, either if it's got a sold sticker on it, it's sold. But if it's got a reserve on it and it didn't get to the reserve, it will be held. Like this one. See, this one didn't sell. So if you wanted to put a bid on this, you could come over here and see that the high bid on this was $24,000. So let's say you wanted to offer this guy $25,000 for this bike. You can contact Mecum Auction and give them your bid and say, hey, on bike 169, I want to bid this. They'll call the guy and see where he's at. If the guy's at, $10,000 more, they'll tell you what its reserve is. But they won't tell you on the auction when it's going through. They don't tell you that. So then they got all this road art you can bid on. There's those bicycles. They had one of these big bikes a while ago sold for $6,000. I think it was like 18 something. So it sold. Did you buy your bike?
Pardon me?
Did you buy one?
No.
Oh.
I had one. I sold it years ago.
I know I did
But
that.
I had an Eddie Lawson replica,
Oh,
and I sold it.
I know.
What a stupid thing to do.
same thing. My first bike was a 74 Honda 100 XL, which I've not seen a used one in the last 10 years. And my next bike was the Honda 750, which was the sport model.
Okay.
I've never seen that here at the auction either. So it's sometimes like that. And same thing. I sold both those bikes for under $1,000.
Yeah.
And probably today, some Hondas last year, they were getting $30,000 out of
I
them.
just wonder. I saw that they were getting some of that out.
It was just crazy
So,
money.
I've got a 75 Z1900 in my garage. It hasn't been ridden since my daughter was born 35 years ago, and I need to renovate it. I have no idea what those bikes are worth.
Well, you can actually go on their Mecum's website, and if they've auctioned one off, they'll tell you what it's sold for.
Okay, well, they've got some here they're going to auction off.
Okay.
So I kind of figured I kind of keep an eye
Keep an eye on it and see. But maybe because the one thing about these bikes, there's no guarantee they run. So unless it says on the paper, you don't know if it runs or not. So a lot of people bring bikes here that don't even run.
But they got to say that.
Well, no, they don't. It
They-
says everything is sold as is.
Huh.
So see, some of them, now I haven't seen so many this trip, but sometimes they'll write it on here. Like one of them came up a while ago and said, last time the bike was ridden was in December of 2024. Okay,
I
so
saw that.
Yeah, so okay, that bike runs. Now, some of them will tell you display only, which means it probably isn't going to run at all. A lot of the old Harleys, they came out of like a museum. So it was a museum piece, which the idea was to make the outside look good, but the inside might not even have a piston in it.
And you don't even know if you can find parts to repair.
Yeah, which is true.
You have to go to a machine shop and
Yeah.
have something made.
There's a place like for Indians, there's a place in Deadwood, South Dakota that makes custom parts.
Oh, they do.
And so no matter what old vintage Indian you have, they will make you the parts. They have it. It's a great setup, but it is, unless, a lot of like this Kawasaki, if you needed parts for it, you're looking at a salvage yard or trying to buy a salvage bike because nobody's going to have parts for an old Kawasaki.
That was one thing I was kind of wondering what it's going to take for me to redo that bike and what parts I
It
need
just
to get.
depends on what.
So
you know,
I went to Vintage Days in Columbus, Ohio,
Okay.
in Mansfield. Yeah, I live in Columbus. Hey, Brad. Oh, well, I'll catch up with them. So I went there and I did find a couple of people that I think will be a good contacts for rebuilding the old 28 millimeter Mecunis and redoing maybe parts of the motor and stuff like that.
It
I wanted
is.
to do it myself.
and it's there's stuff out there. It's just you just got to track it down.
Yeah.
That's why if you can get one at the motor, because what I find out on a lot of bikes is a lot of the parts, like for instance the old Harleys, they have car parts in there. If you go to some of the old just the V twins from the 90s and the 2000s, it's got lifters that came out of a Chevy. So if you know this, you can actually go to AutoZone and find the parts for them.
Oh my God.
So it's like,
That's American ingenuity.
well, somebody showed me the other day, I seen it was a starter on a bike. I don't know what bike it was, but it's $1,200 from the dealership. It's made by like Saab or something, made the starter. You can get it for $50 from Saab dealer. So, but I mean, you got to know somebody. Yeah, you got to know somebody that would give you this kind of ideas to where it makes it, when you tear into something, that's what you got to know. You just got to do your homework before you get all tear into it.
After this year. So once I'm done with that, I'm diving into the bike.
There you go.
Because I grew up riding motorcycles.
Yeah, that's me
I've
too.
been around them. I worked on them. I raced them. I did all of it. And I miss them.
Yeah.
And I miss the people that were involved in it.
Oh yeah,
So,
that's what we do. We cover motorcycle rallies.
oh, dude.
And
well, you've probably been to the Vintage Days then in Mansfield, Ohio.
Yeah,
Have you been there?
I mean,
This year was 100-year anniversary.
no, I didn't go this year.
Oh, okay.
Took my cards out of my pocket. But if you look us up on YouTube, it's called Bob and Tams. And we cover motorcycle rallies and we go to events like this. And right behind this is the AMI show. It's going to be in Vegas here next week.
Yeah,
And then we're going to that Sunday. Then I'm going to Super Bowl Sunday. We're going to California, Ventura, to David Mann's Chopper Fest. I've always been wanting to go. And
I'm
so,
going to take a picture of your shirt. Right
okay.
there. That way I won't forget. Good.
All righty. Well, good luck with your bike. And where do you live? Okay. Maybe we get out that way when you're working on your bike. I can stop by and say hi.
You can.
All righty.
I got that. I'll text you my address.
All right. Sounds good. There's some girls for you. So they're lining up bikes now. So they've already taken these were all filled earlier today. This is where they're bringing in the previews for today. So they'll make the next line of bikes coming in. We'll line up here. Typically, they're usually around 300 a day. So what we're looking at here, this number on this one is 282. Then we do have some vendors and stuff here. Gentleman here doing paintings. This is a motorcycle. They do the motorcycle cannonball. Hey, I wanted to do that. I think is it this year they do the cannonball? And that's a cool thing. They do that with the old vintage bikes. And I just wanted to follow them to film it. And they ride across country, coast to coast. Is it this year? Next year. This year. Oh,
We'll have sure next year.
okay. Okay. Yeah, I just like to follow parts of it. I love the old vintage bikes. So he said he's not sure about 2025, but they're working on 2026 for sure. The motorcycle cannonball. A lot of you might have seen that coast to coast. I would love just to follow them on my bike. So here's another studio, does paintings and stuff. Iron Cylinder Studio. And here's some suspension. Norland. And here's some more parts and stuff you can get for your bike. There's somebody's got some heat lamps. If you're working in your shop, you want to warm it up a little bit. Got Eastonson Racing. This guy's really cool. We talked to this guy a year or so ago. It might have been last year. Makes all these metal signs and stuff. And he's actually very reasonable for what he's doing. Oh, there he goes. He's got some prices here. If you want to get a 12-inch bead roll pieces are $60. Small engravings are $30 to $50. He does bracelets and all too. That's kind of cool what he does. There's his name. And it's making a Harley sign. So it's really cool what this guy does. So you can check out the signs. And so there's one like this for an Indian. It's like 125. Norton, Triumph. There's the Indian. It's pretty cool. I like the Indian. Need to get an Indian so I can buy that sign. All right. He does all kinds for your kids and stuff, cartoon type things. There's Mustang for Tam's bike, for Tam's car at home. There's Dodge. You must have made a little plate for that one. Kind of cool. Kind of neat signs. But he's been here the last couple of years. There's the earrings and the bracelets and stuff you can get. Does etchings and stuff on them. There's Mecum one. So pretty cool, pretty cool. So what we're doing is just taking a walk around some of the stuff that's going on here at the Mecum auction. Here's somebody that's not here yet. There's a Las Vegas Antique Motorcycle Club. We've talked to them a couple of times. There's donateamotorcycle.org. They're doing something similar to what we do. There's some custom painting and stuff, lettering and striping. Here's some more signs. This is David Houle, Fine Art. I forget what they call this stuff. It starts with a P. I mean, that's pretty cool. Hate to see what the cool price would be. There you go. King Kong on top of the Empire State Building. Pretty cool. Lots of stuff. There's some more bikes that sold. So yeah, let me walk back here and show you what's going on. No, the city of Sturgis is not here. They're going through some financial issues, so they're not going to be coming probably out to any of the rallies. If you're going to Colorado, Colorado has a bike show, bike something going on, and it's Buffalo Chip will be there. So here's all the bikes here. There goes a Honda. Whoops, almost hit somebody. Another little scooter that sold. So all these bikes are what have sold today that were in these racks here. There's nobody there. So they're putting these bikes, they already sold. So they're running the next line down. And these are all going ready to be auctioned off. So if you wanted to buy any of these, this is the last chance to pick up any of these bikes. There's a chopper like mine. Yeah, my bike's not done yet. I didn't get a chance to pull my cylinders off yet to get those pressure relief valves. And I'm going to try to do it if I can get it done. See, I don't want to go to Leesburg and then wait a month and a half. See, I'd like to get one of these little Hondas. 69. Back when back in St. Louis, we used to have, when I was a kid, they had a trail over in St. Louis. You could ride 50s and the 70s, and you could ride them around for a price for, I don't know what it cost back then. And there's our custom bike. So this one will be sold today. 2014 FLHSS custom. Did a lot of work on that. There's a Triumph. We got some custom paint work done on it. There's not even one particular bike that overrides here. Here's an old mini bike. It sold. I didn't see what that sold for. This little red one here. Lady gets out of the way. Right here. That was similar to the one I had. I used to have that original one that Kmart used to sell. It looked like a motorcycle. Similar to this. I put a Kickstarter on it. And I just tore that thing up. The Kickstarter was lousy for the bike. It has a Tecumseh engine on it. Look, I even remember what motorcycle motor. There's somebody checking out the bike. I guess they're wanting to think about bidding on that Honda. And doing some work cleaning up his bike. Your bike? Doing a little extra cleaning on it?
Yeah, didn't quite get it done in time, so figure I'll just do it here.
And where you from?
Groveland, California.
Okay, not too far away.
No,
The only one bike you got?
no, I got another one down here. I got a boat tail down there, and probably about 20 more bikes at home.
Yeah. Looking to buy any more?
I said no.
Everybody always says that, and then when they come back and they're like, oh, "I sold 3 and bought 5."
Yeah, that's about the case. Too.
Oh, I know. You see something that, oh, that's one of the ones I've been looking for. Well, good luck in the sale. Well, it's good if you're walking around like this. If you can catch somebody like that, then you can find out more about that bike if you wanted to know it. And my dad had a Honda 400, but it was a 81. Look, that's what it is. 81. And yeah, because that's the same as what my 750 Honda was. It was an 81. We bought them at the same time. But they don't ever have my Honda. My Honda was more of the sport model. So here we're at, that started. So we got to back up here to see the last bike today that's going to sell. It's his bike. His bike, the gentleman we were just talking to, he's got the last bike. So there's 353 bikes that are going to be sold today. Or go through the auction. Not all may be sold. A lot of them sold. Not all of them have reserves on them. Some do, some don't. But all those bikes sold. There's a Honda. There's a little bitty bike. So all these bikes will be tomorrow, Thursday, that we're walking down the aisle now looking at. And there's somebody else cleaning up their bike. So does it run? Is it drivable?
Drivable and goes very fast.
There you go. That's the one thing that I bought a couple bikes last year. And people, like, when you own something like that, you should put your phone number where people can call you and ask you and talk to you. Do you? Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. Because that's what I said. The 2 bikes I bought, I didn't know if either one ran. Because especially when you're bidding on it, and because you'll pay more if you know it runs.
Well, I put a video on each one to get a start up. And
There you go. So you're Mike?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Mike. So where are you from? Oregon. Okay. You got 14 of them here you're looking to sell? There you go. So all of his bikes run. So if you want to check out any of the bikes that he has, you can type in Mike Doyle collection, and he's got videos on every one of his bikes showing you that they run. That's a smart idea. And that way, you know, if you're buying one, you'll know what you're getting. Like here, he said, this one's fast. You're looking at this, a Yamaha. 85 Yamaha. So, yeah. So that's something to check out if you're, he's smart in doing that. And given that, he's got quite a few of these along here that we're looking at are all his bikes. He's got that little black sign underneath it. Shows you it's his collection. So he's got 14 of them along here, and they all run. So here's a little Honda Rebel. I don't know if that one's one of his or not. A good $2,500 bike. Yep, that's one of his too. Good starter bike for people. This is the Honda Rebel. If you got a wife or a kid, nice light bike, easy to ride. That was going to be Tam's first bike, and then we ended up getting her that Sportster. The first one was a Sportster. So yeah, all these. He's got 14 of them along here. So that's kind of cool. You can go to check his out. You can go on the site and type in his name, and they're all for Thursday. And you can watch the video and see his bikes running, and he'll talk about them a little bit. So that's kind of cool. Smart seller. 450 Honda. But I always look. I never see my 100 XL that I had, my 74, and we never see my 750 Honda that I had 80. I think it was 81, 81 or 84. Must have been 81. And I bought it when I was in Chicago when I had my gas station. So yeah, it would have been 81. And my dad bought an 81 400, which I've seen a few of those here. But those 750s have gone for crazy money. They've gotten like last year, a lot of these 750 Hondas were getting like $30,000. I'm like, oh my gosh. There's a 71 Honda. That's a SL 100. Mine was a XL 100. So that's about as close to what mine looked like. But mine was all blue. But it was an XL. Oh, there's an XL. What year is that? Like I say, mine was blue. That's a 71, but mine was 74. So they're getting close to what I had. But it looked just like this one. And I always look for one, but I figure it's going to when I do see it, it's going to sell for way, way more money than what I'm going to give them for it. And I sold that thing for, I don't know, $750,000 maybe if I got that much out of it. And it only had, I don't know, 500 miles on it. It probably had less than 1,000 on it. So a lot of little bars around here. You can get drinks and stuff. So let's kind of taking a look at the Mecum auction of the bikes that they're going to have. I'm not going to have time to go through all this. We have been on for an hour and a half. Got 32 of you still on here. Nobody seems to be talking anymore. Oh, she said my bike was orange. My 74. That's what it shows you. My memory's going. And pretty cool. Just a lot of old bikes and a lot of newer bikes. There's a bike that somebody was trying to fix up, like a Captain America bike. Looks like a project bike that needs to be finished up. Might go cheap. And but that's the problem. Sometimes on these, if it doesn't say, you don't know if they run or not. And that gentleman should have had, which I didn't look at his plaques, should have said, go to the website and see if it runs. Hey, look at this thing. What the heck is this? This is a 1992 GM SR Racer. So tell me, if any of you know this, did it actually run? There's another one. A Jawa. That's a Jawa bike. Awful fancy for a race bike, isn't it? Got a couple of them along here. I guess they're owned by the same people. Anybody been to a racetrack and seen a Jawa bike race? That's 2001. It's got a card here. You've seen them racing. And nobody's writing any comments. Tam's all by herself there writing. If you got anything you want to ask questions on, Tam doesn't know anything about what bikes I'm looking at, other than she knew my bike was orange. My first bike, my 74. Here's a little General Lee. Somebody painted up like General Lee. I don't know if it came that way or not. Let's see if it says on the title. If it says it was a General Lee, no, it just said it was a 1970 CT70. I figured that. Somebody fixed it up like a General Lee. It looks like it's got car headlights on it, don't it? Can-Am. KTMs, a couple of them, 3 of them. What in that? There's a Victory bike over there. Pretty nice looking Victory. That blue one. And just kind of looking at the bikes. This is really the first time I kind of walked through here. I've kind of walked through here a while ago, kind of quickly, but I wasn't really looking at any one particular bike. As I always need to kind of look through here to see if my perfect bike I want is here. And it'd be nice to get a little bike that we could ride around, like, if you're at the Buffalo Chip or someplace like that, you could jump on and just ride. Instead of taking one of our bikes out or taking the golf cart out. Here's a couple more of those Jawa bikes. That was the same guy. He must have had a whole collection of them. So does anybody know about this bike? Jawa. I've never heard of them. I'm not sure what kind of racing they did. I don't have cards on these. So these are all restored by Cody Products. It's got an 890 cc engine, single cylinder. Interesting. Some more bikes. There's some that are, a lot of the bikes haven't shown up. Like I say, some of them got lost in that shipping container somewhere between here and China. Getting through the ports. And there's a custom looking bike. The heck do we have here? This is a 1988 Pro Street Chopper, is what it's got on it. There's another chopper. A Norton. There's a Pope bike. There's another Captain America style bike over there. Moto Guzzi. Is it Guzzi or Guzza? Triumph. There's an Express. Look at this sucker. You can get a helmet with this one. The 1961 Express Cavalier. I've never seen one of them. Anybody see one of those? There you go. Neil knew something about the Jawa bikes. I didn't know nothing about it. Like I say, that's the first one I've ever seen of those. Some more racing bikes. Bull Taco. And, it's just kind of cool. Like I say, I like coming here more or less just to see all the different bikes that they have. There's a newer Indian Scout. Yeah. It's the Jack Daniels version, 2018. Bad news, unless somebody really likes Jack Daniels, that probably isn't going to go that much. I've seen some of those already sell before, and they didn't bring big money. Here's one of the service vehicles. A couple years ago, they had a whole mess of them. This one's a 63 service car. Used to see a lot of those out in Los Angeles. And let's go down this aisle. See what we got. Honda, some Buells, Yamaha. Looks like it might have been a police bike over there on the other side. Got a lot of holes here. A lot of bikes haven't not showed up. That's 296, 283. So yeah, there's a lot of bikes. But they said a lot of them are in transportation. Some of them are being shipped. There's Bill Broad bike. Yeah, we hear a bike right now that's around $2,300 or so auctioning off. And you can pick up some good bikes, especially if you want to, if you had some kids and you wanted to pick up a dirt bike or something like that for them. Some of them here are going like around $2,000. Seen a couple things go around $1,500. But maybe next year we'll have enough funds that we can come in and buy some of the smaller bikes for our veteran giveaways. There's a Reflection 1965 Panhead. That was done by Reflections Restorations. Did that bike there. Got a Panhead. Triumph. Like I say, there's just a really big variety of bikes. There's one that's all dirty. This come out of they found it in a flood. It's a 1943 DKW NZ 350. Didn't say anything special about it. Says the odometer only reads 1 mile. But I wouldn't say that it was brand new. Unless it's a barn find, which could be. Somebody bought it, put it in a barn, and never rode it. I just don't know if I'd believe it only had 1 mile on it. Would you believe it? got one more aisle to go up, and we're not doing the ones upstairs. Got to get back to Tam. I'd like to ride one of these, just to say that I have. I rode an old Triumph. It was like a 36 Triumph I've rode. But it's kind of cool to ride some of these old bikes. They ride a whole lot different than the new ones. Especially if it's a English bike, everything's backwards. When I rode that Triumph, every time I hit the brake, I was downshifting. There you go. There's a little bitty Indian for you. Little bitty. Neil needs that. Right around the campground on it. So just a variety. Here's another little Honda. Looks like about a 70. Yeah, it's a 70 trail. So I'd love to have one of these. But they're usually going somewhere between, smell bad gas, usually between 3 and, okay, so this has been totally restored. I'd rather have one that's all original. But because when you get a restore, you never know what they did. Did they do it right? Are you going to have to tear into it? There's some cruisers. Looks like a parade bike. I didn't see very many flying squirrels. Seen one today when I was looking earlier, but I didn't see it now. A lot of Triumphs, BSAs, some more Hondas. So, yep. Look at that Kawasaki. Green one. So just a lot of different bikes here. So there'll be no video coming out tonight. This is it. We got a video that I'll be working on tomorrow for tomorrow's video. And not to tell Tam, but might be looking at a bike. And find one cheap enough. What do you think I should buy? There you go. The Boss Hoss style. Really cool. Let's get around here. Let me go upstairs. And we'll head back to Tam, and then we'll wrap this up for today. Gotta climb the steps. So, have any of you ever been to a motorcycle auction? Lots of bikes. And you got all these bikes up here yet, which we're not going through today. You'll see these on a video. Most of these are all, there's a Sears. All be coming up on Saturday. Another racer. Back in the bar. Are you going out in a snowstorm or what? There's like a polar bear over here. Not many people asking questions, huh?
No, not a whole lot. Auction on the courthouse steps.
Hey, there we are. We're back. She was all bundled up when I showed up there. Did you see her?
I was cold.
With
It's
my cards.
cold up here. And she did forget your
Yeah,
cards.
I was
I saw
gonna,
that.
went to give a couple people and I didn't have any in my pocket.
No.
So I'm ready to wrap her up.
You should have it. You got pockets, don't you?
I have the glasses in this one.
Well, put your the other
Dying
one.
of thirst. Oh,
I got it. It stinks in here. Smells like smoke.
yeah, like you're having a cigarette.
I probably will smell like that when I go home. I'll have to go home and take another shower.
Shower night anyway.
I know, but I mean my hair.
It's a Monday night shower. She's taking her weekly shower.
Wednesday,
Oh, you skipped Monday then. She's behind.
a couple days. I refuse to let insurance companies take my bike after the accident. I wouldn't pay the extortion fees.
There you go. And because her, we should have kept her fat boy
Oh,
low,
I wish I would have.
and should have took the money and fixed it up ourselves.
Hump day. Yep.
All right.
Together again. Always together.
So we're gonna go ahead and put it to bed now for tonight, and we're gonna go out to eat with one of our subscribers, and then probably start a little bit of my video tonight, and then do the rest tomorrow probably here, and we'll film some more stuff, and maybe we'll get to talk to some of the people. I talked to a guy down there. You guys heard it or not? A guy that is thinking about buying a bike, and he didn't know what he wants to buy, and
The guy that's fixing up his bike. Is his
Yeah.
last bike for the day?
yeah,
I saw that.
that was the very last bike.
I had that one on so I could hear you. Gotta run again. So do we, Neil. Bye. Heading out. He's
So
heading
that
out.
go ahead and say your bit.
So thanks for hanging out with us today. Hope you enjoyed the video and we'll bring you along to the Mecum auction, even though you can't be here. Hopefully you can get online if you've seen a bike that you thought you might like. And don't forget to patronize our sponsors that are getting us to different places this year. And subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notification. We'll see you in the next video. And don't forget about if you know an active duty Marine and to get him a bike, you can, we'll give you the information coming up soon. And we'll have some breaking news about Bike Blues Barbecue
There you
in the
go.
next few days.
Lots of cool, exciting stuff coming up to be.
That's right. Stay
Can't wait.
warm wherever you are, because it's cold here inside. My hands are cold. Go
It's probably
somewhere where it's not
75
so
degrees
stinky.
here. Yeah.
It's
You
a
couldn't do it
bar.
out there.
This is the only place you can smoke in the out in the casino. You can, but in the Mecum
Arena.
auction area, this is the only area you can smoke. So kind of stinky in here. Can't breathe.
Yep, phone's almost down to 19. It's going to die soon.
Yeah.
At that, we're going to go ahead and leave you right here.
That's right. So thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
That's it?
Well, I already said my whole spiel.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.